Hello and welcome to the first go around of Josh Reacts to TikToks. Our good friend at the Laughing Libertarian, Alan McFarland, has curated some TikToks for me to react to.
Bring in the pain!
And as much as I disdain them, I'll probably turn red as our logo. I know that you're used to me hosting the show Faith, Family, and Politics, but you see me looking over a lot. It's because Alan is actually in the producer station, so we're both in uncomfortable positions right now.
Right. What do all these buttons do?
I have trained you, sir. He asked what all the buttons do. Okay, Alan. Let's get this torture over with. Let's pop in this first. TikTok.
Good luck.
It's Chinese propaganda.
This is not like racism, it is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing...
Start that over. I have to see that from the beginning. And what?
This is not like racism, it is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness. The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people. And appearing curvier, bigger is associated with blackness, especially black women. And that's why they're discriminated in the workplace, overly sexualized. And this has gone back for centuries and centuries.
That
all systems of oppression,
no
capitalism, sexism, racism, it all comes back to white supremacy, which is the foundation of the fabric of America and rules every sector and aspect of our society.
No, that's every bit of what she just said. That is not even remotely true. This is coming from a fat guy. Okay. If you're anti-fat, I don't care. Like, I'm going to live my life, and it has nothing to do with racism. And I've been fat since I was like 8 years old. Alan remembers. He's sitting over the producer chair. He knows. Yeah, there's no link between white supremacy. That just broke my brain. Thanks, Alan. And it's systemic. It's systemic. Are you kidding me? No, and it's not linked with black people in particular. There's all sorts of every race has fat people. You just eat more cheeseburgers. That has nothing to do with your race. Okay, let's do the next one.
Hello, yes, I thought I should probably address this comment. I identify as gray gender, which means I feel ties to certain genders, but it's really hard to describe, it's really hard to define. For me, it's really close to being gender fluid.
Gray gender, this is the new one on me. I never heard it before. But there's a lot of new ones out there. I guess they just change them at a whim. They do whatever they're going to do. They just decide that they're going to change it to whatever they feel that day, and we're supposed to just live in their delusion. I don't get that at all. But also, there are only two. Is it? You look like a lady to me. So if I were to see you, I'd say ma'am, miss, gal, lady. I don't know what else to. I don't know what else I would call it. Definitely not gray, because you don't look like an alien to me. That's the only thing I could say that would probably be able to identify as a gray. So unless you're from outer space, I'm going to call you miss, ma'am, young lady. Yeah, that's just what I see. Okay, go ahead and let her finish, I guess.
For me, it's really close to being gender fluid. I just don't personally feel like I have strong enough, consistent enough, like repeated enough dysphoria to call myself gender fluid.
Oh.
And in the end, I don't really care how people perceive me. Hence.
So she called it dysphoria. She admits to you that she has dysphoria, that she has a mental issue. This is a mental issue. She admitted it right there. That there's no other way of looking at this than a mental issue. That's what you just need help. Go to a licensed physician who doesn't do this gender affirmation crap, because that's all crap. It's every bit of it's crap. You just need to go and get help. Stop talking about being gray gender and your true self, because there's only one true self, and that's what God gave you. You were born beautiful and wonderful and in his image. You're either a man or a woman, and you look like a woman to me from what I can tell. So I'm going to assume that, and it's okay for me to assume that. And if you tell me that it's not okay for me to assume that, go ahead and comment below. Come at me, bro. All right, let's let her finish.
Me, hence gray gender, that's its definition. The thing is, sometimes I do feel dysphoria, and sometimes it's intense. So essentially, I will never care
so you
what
take
gender
it camping with
pronouns, what gendered compliments, what gendered questions you have for me. Occasionally, I will be feeling a certain set of pronouns more. Pronouns do not equal gender, but for me personally, they do. Thank you for asking.
So you're a crazy person. That's what I get out of that. You're a crazy person.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
All right. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I've said enough, as much as I can say about it, Alan.
You want more?
Yeah, I guess we're going to just let's power through.
In the chair of torture.
Oh, good granny.
Hi, friend. I know that you mean well, but I need to let you know that this is not true. First things first.
What's not true? I can't read that
one
there.
Religion, and pagans
give me a second
have
to
many
read that.
varied beliefs.
Hey, just something. I should. I know. I've heard about. Oh, okay. All right. Continue. I had to read what was being said there.
Now, I'm something of a pagan myself, and I can personally assure you that fey pronouns are not offensive to me. And if they're offensive to you, it doesn't really matter to me because they remain my pronouns. And now for the part of the program where I issue corrections.
All right, pause that for a sec. Pause it.
This is very interesting.
So, what matters to him matters. But what matters to you or me doesn't matter. He doesn't care.
Personal truth.
That is... You're lost, sir. You're lost. First of all, get that crap off your head. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you just like dunked your head in that Joker bin where like Joker from Batman where he fell in the vat. It looks like you've dunked your head into that. I'm not for sure what happened there, but also you're either a guy or a girl. Going back to that, it's either a guy or girl. There's only two genders. And what I say matters just as much as what you say. And you happen to be wrong. I identify as the person who's correct on this issue. How about that? All right, hit play.
I don't know why you chose fey self pronouns or to use the word paganists when pagans would work just fine. I get the distinct feeling that you've never Googled this to confirm it, which is something that I highly advise you do before you repeat stuff in the future. Have a great day.
Well, I understand what pagans are. Pagan just means not Christian. That's all that means. Or one of the major religions. So I don't know what those pronouns are. I have no idea what they represent, and I don't think I want to know.
Teeth, though.
Oh, yeah, those teeth that Helen was mentioning about the teeth. I think it believed that person, I won't say it, but that person, that fella, because it looks like a man to me, I think he's trying to identify as a dog. That's what it looks like to me, which offends my dog because she's over there growling on the floor right now. So, sorry, Journey. Sorry we offended you with that horrible, horrible TikTok. All right, let's see what else is on the docket. Oh, boy.
There's one great distinction between black folks and white folks. Black people have the moral high ground.
Do they?
They do. Black people have when you do a comparison morally between white people and black people.
Explain.
You have to take away one thing, supremacy. Black people do not have a culture of black supremacy. However, white people do. So white people are narcissists, social, cultural, systemic narcissists is who we are because of our racism.
Pausing for a second.
Because of the lies of white.
So I guess modern day slavery, where blacks enslave blacks doesn't exist, sir. Also, there's plenty of races other than black and white. I should say that too. And there are plenty of races that believe that they're supreme over others. And all I ever hear, as much as I love black comedy, because the best comedians that have ever existed in my book were all black men in particular. Like you list them off: the GOAT, Dave Chappelle, going back. These guys all make me laugh. They all have, but do they have the moral high ground just because they're black? No. This doesn't make any sense. No. Maybe there are people out there that there are plenty of people out there that think that they're superior just because of their skin color. It's either you have was it melanin? Is that the word I'm looking for, Alan? Or you have a reverse tan like me. There's somewhere in that spectrum. All right.
Looks like the Colonel.
He does kind of look like the Colonel without the glass. Oh, his glasses are on the top of his head. So
supremacy. So how can white people have morality as long as we have bought into the lies of white supremacy? We can't. And how does that feel to know that black people have a moral high ground? How does that feel to know as a white person that you are sick, twisted, narcissistic, and immoral, highly immoral, and inhumane? I don't use the N-word.
I don't either.
What are you doing to fight and dismantle racism that benefits you, white person?
It's simple.
Nothing.
I don't engage in it.
I ignore it. I deny it. Or you perpetrate it. Those are the three things we do.
Or you just don't
We ignore it, we deny it, or we perpetrate it. That's what most white people do. I hate to say it, but it's true. And that's why I say we're social narcissists, and we have no moral high ground racially. We are sick, hurting people. Hurt people.
What kind of
and we've been hurting a long
pedestal has this guy
time.
Been sitting on his entire life to feel this
We're
much
hurting.
guilt? He feels so much guilt for something that he didn't do. I mean, unless he's a racist himself, you think he's one of those people that points a finger but doesn't realize that four of them are pointing right back at him. That's what I feel from this little spiel that this guy has given. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, sir. You are retarded. It's kind of like tell me you're retarded without telling me you're retarded. I mean, am I wrong? Okay. I don't think I have much more to say on that racist guy.
Want to thank Libs of TikTok?
Oh yeah, I want to thank Libs of TikTok on that clip because that's where Alan happened to find it from.
And this one I'll let you read before you react to it.
Okay, this one I have to read. All right. You may have to read it off to me, Alan. I can't.
I really don't care what you think. You're shaming people for a preference of not dating a trans because it's not what they like.
Okay.
Here we go.
I got frame of reference.
Not dating trans people is not a preference. Not dating blondes is a preference. Not dating people who are, shorter than 5'6" is a preference. Not dating people with brown eyes is a preference. Being trans is not a specific characteristic. Thus, you can't label it as a preference. That's just...
Being trans is a specific trait because you're not wandering around with the equipment those who you are pretending to be. You're pretending.
Sometimes I like to pretend I'm tall, but I'm just standing on a chair.
It's delusional. It's absolutely delusional. I like a woman. That's why I married a woman and have been for a very long time. I have no interest in that equipment because I know what I like.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
And I don't like what I have. I like what she has. What else?
Thus, you can't label it as a preference. That's just called bigotry.
Okay.
Forcing you to date
Call me
trans
that then.
people, but don't cover up your discriminatory bias in the name of preference, because the logic doesn't add up. Like I've said in many a video,
How?
the logic of
How does it not add
transphobia
up?
never adds up.
You like what you like. You obviously like Doritos. Okay. I think that brings this to a conclusion. Make sure that you're not only subscribing to Everything Revolver, You got to come over and subscribe to Everything Revolver. The Laughing Libertarian, who's over here producing today, Alan McFarland, you got to make sure you're subscribing to that. You got to make sure that you're on, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, True Social, or anywhere you download your audio podcasts, Everything Revolver should be in your purview. And well, if you happen to be on YouTube or Rumble, make sure that you're hitting however that you get notified. That way you can see when our new videos come out. Okay. And make sure you're commenting. You have to break the algorithm. We want to know what you guys want. And also make sure also in the comments, toss in a few links for videos for Alan to torture me with this next go around. Let's just keep layering it up. We'll see how long I can last before I quit. All right, you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah!